this book, when I felt like I compelled to write a book about faith organizing in the Trump era, and before that as well, I never ever thought that it would center on Scripture. I am an organizer by training. I've worked in faith and politics in Washington, D.C. for 2 decades. I thought the book would be more like Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, the community organizing book, or Timothy Snyder's On Tyranny book that has gone so viral. And I was writing some early drafts and running them by people, and they just felt really flat, embarrassingly flat. So I was talking with a friend of mine who's a writer, and she's would describe herself as a secular Jew. And she was pushing me on my writing, and I was getting really mad and flabbergasted. And she said, "Jen, what is it that's burning in your belly that you just have to get out of you? Why are you trying to take this time off to do this arduous labor of writing a book?" And she was pushing me. I felt like I was in a boxing ring and was kind of up against the ropes. And I finally blurted out, because my faith has been hijacked, and people are using my faith to destroy our democracy, and it's also hurting people's souls. One thing people don't know about me is I'm also a church planter. I planted a church in Washington, D.C. with my husband, and I saw streams of young people leaving churches because of the bigotry and intolerance that they saw, particularly toward LGBTQ people. So she asked me, why did I stay in a church where there was so much co-optation of the gospel? And I said, because the Bible, the entire Bible, is a handbook for resisting tyranny. And she said, really? I've never heard anybody talk about the Bible that way. Case in point, right? So I said to her, well, let me show you what I mean. The book of Exodus is the cornerstone of Hebrew scripture, the cornerstone of our whole tradition. Jesus is the new Moses. So the book of Exodus is central. It opens with a king that is threatened by immigrants. Sound familiar? The Israelites are multiplying, and Pharaoh increases their labor to crush them. But when that doesn't break them, he escalates. He orders the murder of every Hebrew baby boy. And he commands 2 midwives, Shiphrah and Puah, to lead that work. They're not prophets. They have no titles or armies. What the heck are they going to do? They cannot defy the king. What do? They lie. And it's a sly lie. Oh, king, these Hebrew women are so vigorous. Before we can get there, they just push those babies out. It's brilliant. It's devious. It's humorous. And it works. Pharaoh, in all his fear and paranoia about immigrants, storms off and leaves the midwives to rebel another day. And that story came alive for me years later, standing outside a congressional hearing in Washington, D.C. I had joined with a group called Lawns Rising, and we were protesting the Trump administration's child separation policy. We carried little baby onesies printed with the names of children who had died in U.S. immigration detention centers. Laya, age 1. Dixiana, age 10. Jose, age 5. Alexander, age 11. So I was standing outside that hearing room, and suddenly a Capitol police officer in a little white cap comes up to me and says, "Reverend Butler." He knows my name. Then I realized I had been arrested doing civil disobedience peacefully, prayerfully, in front of Mitch McConnell's office during the Affordable Care Act defense when they were trying to get that bill. Probably my mugshot was on his wall somewhere. So I froze in shock. And he leaned in and he said, "If you hold that onesie up during this hearing, which was televised, you will be arrested." Once wasn't enough. He told me this 3 times. And he's on his cell phone. So I know he's talking to a member of Congress or one of their staffers. So imagine that. The power of a baby onesie to strike fear into the hearts of tyrants. The power of our moral vision rising the power of midwives still rising. All of Scripture is a handbook for resisting tyranny.